Hey, good evening. Welcome to the Black Super Friends podcast. It is me and you are you. I am joined by my best friends. But you know what? After this commercial break, we'll be back and you will see who I'm talking about.
Fool me, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah, either way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow.
Oh man, until they get old, man. That's my way of showing privilege. I mean, giving a tribute to the one and only D. Kevin Samuel, who has went on to power, but made an impact in a short time. Oh, it's a beautiful day, man. It's Memorial Day. Some of y'all full of barbecue, some of y'all full of hot dogs. But at the end of the day, it ain't real good today. All right, listen. The Black Super Friends podcast, internationally known. I am joined tonight by my best friends that you know as the Black Super Friends podcast. Merchandise and trademark do apply. Hey, who would I want to go to first? First, I'm gonna go to a person that turned me on to a new restaurant this weekend. He didn't pay for it, but the experience was very amazing indeed. You know him around town as Zay, the ladies' man.
You can call me the GOAT tonight. We went Dutch. That's my boy. Love him to death. I love him that much. You are a man. You must fend for yourself. How y'all doing today, man? How was Labor? No, it was Labor. It's Memorial Day. It's one of these damn made-up holidays. How was your day? How was your off day from work?
You know that was a setup, Zay. Because you
I
know, a
don't care,
couple
man.
shows back, y'all said that when you go out to dinner with Horace, he always picks up the tab.
I didn't tell you that.
Oh, boy. See how that thing come around? Oh, I'm ministry
I want you to
tonight.
understand something. No, I want you to understand. He only does that when you come in town, Hardy. He doesn't love me like that. That is the catch-22. I just let y'all live in y'all splendor because y'all were rolling.
All
It's all
right,
right.
man. Well,
But I
guess
didn't
what?
introduce you to somewhere new.
We
I don't want
did.
to catch none of your heifers in there neither.
They surely will be there next week. Listen,
Why you don't
the
show me the
best
girls
thing
like
about it, the teachers are out. Hot girl summer has begun. The city girls are loose. Oh, the party they had last week showed me that these teachers are going to be out of control for a few more months. So salute to all the teachers that are out.
deservedly so?
All right, next I'm going to the man, the myth, the legend, the architect of confusion, the disruptive one on the podcast, the truth teller, one of the people that Kevin Samuels was damn so proud of. You will know him tonight as the infamous Chris Leo.
Yes. I'm so happy to be here. Memorial Day has been very, very exhausting, but we got through it, and I'm happy to be here tonight. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, before I go to the next person, Nisha Dash, we will not let you Negrofy this restaurant. It is such a fine establishment. Listen, when we
It's in the
find
greater
such
West Palm
places,
Beach area. Just know that.
yes, let's play again. You figure it out. We're not going to let you know about it. I don't want to see nobody when I go there. Okay, it's very nice, and my dates are gonna think that it was more than I paid. But hey, it's a deal. All right, next I'm going to the man that some people feel is the wise one. Behind the scenes, I would tell y'all that we could probably do a show on the behind the scenes of Super Mario Senior. You gonna get some of the truth from our wise brother. I think some of the best shows are the ones that don't even come on the line. When we talking backstage or we on a 4-man chat, man, that's some of the best TV you could ever see. Is me talking to my brothers. The next person, man, is the proud father of Super Mario Jr. Tonight, you will know him as the Super Mario Senior.
What's going on? Salutations to everybody and a joyous Memorial Day. Even though we celebrating, there's a lot of people that lost their lives today protecting the United States of America. So we send a salute to all those people. My in-laws, patriot, what you call it?
Veterans,
Yeah.
Patriots.
So I salute them as we Memorial Day.
All right, Memorial Day means something different to me as well. Hey, shout out to the veterans, all those that lost their lives in war while serving this country. Shout out to all my exes. Shout out to all the strippers who have served the pole and now have happy homes. Memorial Day is extended to you.
Shout out to my uncle and my cousin. Thank you for your service.
Shout out to our uncle Junior Knighton, who has been retired since he was probably 40. He's probably 90 now. Oh my God, I know the
Still
Army is
out
mad
working.
yeah. They have had to cut him a check for 50 years.
That's the original Major Payne.
Bruh.
What?
Hey, do we give a happy Memorial Day to one of our black super friends, Terrell, even though he skipped out of Army Reserves?
Hey, that's the first. That's the first nigga I thought the Air Force was gonna come and kick our door in for. He was on the run from the people for a party too.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, last week I wasn't able to be on the podcast, man. It was one of the podcasts that I thought was amazing. It's always good when I can see my brothers facilitate and get into their comfortable space. Xavier served as host last week, and the dialogue was amazing. Yes, I want to give you kudos, Xavier, for filling in the gap last week. Such an amazing show to watch while I was abroad, if you want to call it that. Yeah, man. All right. Well, listen, I'm pulling one of y'all tonight. So, first off, before I get deep, because I will be giving a reply to one of the topics that I missed out on. And it's going to be so heartfelt that you guys will really feel the love from me. Okay. But first, I want to give a shout out to all those Miami Heat fans that were so close, but you have to wait till next year to get near the NBA Finals. So with that being said, the Golden State Warriors, also known as the Lightskins, will be facing the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. I want to know what y'all predictions are, Chris Leo. You the sports man. Give it to me quick.
Well, I'm gonna go with Boston. Boston in 6. Now I know what everybody's saying, but I think if Boston wins, I don't think it should be a surprise. Boston beat the preseason team that was said that was going to win the whole championship in the Brooklyn Nets. They beat them, swept them first round. They beat the defending champions the second round with a healthy Giannis. Chris Middleton was out, but they still beat the defending champs. And then the last round, they beat the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, number 2 seed overall in record-wise in the whole NBA, with one of the best coaches in the NBA. So, and they beat them Game 7 at home. So I don't think nothing that the Warriors faced can go. No team that the Warriors faced was better than the Nets, the Bucks, or the Boston Celtics. So I'm going with the Boston Celtics. And plus, I want that black head coach to win.
All right. Well, you might have a little bias, but if you don't confess it, I won't say anything at all, my brother. Next.
Oh no! Everybody knows that I'm a Warrior hater. I don't know what it is about the light skinned guys, no, but I just don't like them. So I didn't bet against them every single round. So
and lost, right? It's okay.
I wanted to hear
so my prediction is going to be Golden State and 5. Hell, they might even sweep them. Because you got to think about it. They just barely got past us. Yes, we have a great team, but they physically outmatched us. I told you guys on the last podcast, it's gonna be live by the 3, die by the 3. We died by it, but they outmatched us. Like, honestly, Tatum should have worked the hell out of Lowry. That was a bad mismatch. And he should have went to superstardom that night. He didn't. Man, you got 2 Splash Brothers that are healthy. With a whole bench that comes to play. They not gonna last, bro. Hey, call it what you fresh legs. Fresh legs. That's what the coach called them. You're a coach. You know how to run. But that's my call. Game 5, series of 5 at the most, but don't be surprised if they get swept. It's my prediction. Golden State.
Mario, give me your predictions.
I got the Warriors. For all the reasons that Chris said. Really. I think he said all the reasons why I'm picking the Warriors. Boston beat the Nets with a broke up team. That's not act like. See, I like to put all the facts and all the stuff that's on. Let's not act like it was the Nets that everybody thought they was going to be at the beginning of the season. Now if they had did that, hey, nope, but they still won. Then secondly, they beat Giannis without Chris Middleton, the second best player on the team with their twos. That's like Jaylen Brown being out and them beating. Like the same thing. If somebody beat the Celtics without Jaylen Brown, I'm be like, bro, Jaylen Brown went up. Then you came and beat the Heat without their number 2 guy. And Tyler Hero being. So it's like, I hear you. But to me, I thought the Celtics was going to win. I said the Celtics was going to beat the Heat to death because they should have. Because they're that much better with a broke-up Heat team. And for me to see the Heat with non-superstar Jimmy Buckets take them all the way to 7 and lose and barely win by 4, oh, this Boston ain't showing me shit. So,
Okay.
right now, you talking about a 3-time team that you finna play. Like, we just don't say that championship DNA don't matter. 2 of the arguably the best shooter that God ever created don't matter. And we've seen Tatum and Brown disappear late in games through this whole series. All right. I say, I agree with what Zay said. It shouldn't even go to 5.
Well, let's talk about let's use your logic a little bit.
Go ahead.
The first round, they played the Nuggets, who didn't have Jamal Murray.
Right.
That's their number 2 guy. In the second round, they played the Memphis Grizzlies, who didn't have Ja Morant some games. That's their number 1 guy. And then they played the Mavs, who's was a good team, but I don't know how much competition that was for them. But
it wasn't. Bro, that's why they got out of there fast.
Is Luka a superstar?
Is Luka a superstar?
Damn sure it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Do the Heat have a superstar?
Do the Heat have a superstar? No.
Ja missed 1 game.
Ja missed 2 games.
2 games.
Yeah.
Middleton didn't play. Hero didn't play. Kyrie came and played like Schmidt. Come on, what are we talking about here? Then we talk about the champion. We'll see. I'm saying, so, bro, you took the Heat. We talking about 2 shots in the Heat is in the championship.
Yep.
Well,
without him,
1 really.
They gentlemen swept Dallas Mavericks. I'm saying 1 shot in the Heat is in the championship.
Mm-hmm.
The Heat was that good of a team.
Bro,
the Heat was that good of a team.
You
You talk about Tyler Hero, who's the 6th man of the year. No, he wasn't the second best player on the team. No, he wasn't.
Okay.
All right. Well, listen, let me ask you something. Oh, yeah, my prediction. For technicalities, maybe they want to win at home. I'm going to say Warriors in 6. All right. Warriors in 6. Yeah. I'm like that. So Warriors in 6. Let me ask y'all something. So let me get serious for a minute because I've been distracted. Okay, last week we had a shooting in Buffalo that got not enough attention because it was people of color. We moved on from that fast. We'll highlight that the suspect who did this on purpose was apprehended with his life while holding an assault rifle, talked down, arrested. Then you take the incident, it had a shooting or 2 that was not reported on mainstream radio that happened. But then you had the shooting at the elementary school in Texas, right? So I have to ask you to get you guys quickly. With this situation going on about mass killings and mass shootings, which we just don't participate in, are we pro-guns? Are you for guns or against guns? And I don't want to beat a dead horse with it tonight, but I definitely want to get y'all insight on it because people are saying that, no one should have a gun. Then you have people saying that more guns would stop people from doing, having these incidents. You have people thinking that you should arm the teachers at school. I want to go quickly to you guys and ask you: are you for guns or not for guns? Zay, the latest man. Do you have an answer for me?
Yep, 4 guns. Don't disarm me. As you know, with all great nations, how were they overrun? Because they had more artillery than them. Give me my gun, and let me arm my family. What I will say, they do not need to arm the teachers, but they need to think of those facilities and institutions not like they do courthouses and banks. If you have to put metal detectors, then damn it, put metal detectors, but protect the kids. It should never ever be a horrific scene like that ever again. How many times do we have to go through that? But again, we quick. I'm for my guns. Give me my guns.
Super Mario.
You are a professional.
Turn your mic.
I'm a NRA member, so I'm definitely gonna be for guns. I feel like the reason why we are here from Africa right now, we didn't, as Zay alluded. And the second thing is that teacher thing. I've been hearing a lot of back and forth about that. I feel like this. I don't think you got to be no rocket scientist, no disrespect, to be a police officer. And they got guns. And I think the teachers are some of the smartest people in the world because they're teaching our future. So I feel if you train teachers and give them the same training that you give a police officer, paid, and give them guns, then I feel like I trust a teacher's judgment better than I do some police officer's judgment. And police officers walking around with guns shooting people every day. So when I hear people saying you should never give a teacher a gun, but you arming a teacher to teach your child for the rest of your life and equip them with the future, but you letting a police officer who all he has to have is a GED, you just go out there and just have the license to kill. So shit, if you give a teacher the same training you give a police officer, according to our nation, that's good enough training for a police officer, so it should be good enough for a teacher. Go ahead.
Chris, Leo.
Well, I've listened to both sides of this, and I'm kind of torn on it. I can understand when people say that if that kid didn't have an automatic assault rifle, he couldn't have killed as many people. So I'm for legislation that bans those for regular people. I don't think that in no point in time in hunting you need an assault rifle. I understand that, but I don't think that more laws stop criminals. I believe that if you outlaw guns, then outlaws are going to be the ones with guns, and I don't think that's a good situation for us. What I think is this, and I know I'm a radical, and this is just how I feel. I believe that we should just like America doesn't have a negotiate with terrorists thing that we do not negotiate with terrorists. We should stop apprehending mass shooters. We should execute them on site, because I think that what happens is, and I know this sounds harsh, but what happens is we immortalize them. We take them out in handcuffs. We put them all over the news. We got their name being known. They got to go to trial. We talk about them while they're in jail. All these other things. If we got to the point where we do not apprehend mass shooters, we just kill them, it would send a clear message to any potential one. Now, I know what you're saying. Some kill themselves, but not all of them kill themselves. I think that we need to adapt something where we say, no, we don't tolerate this at all. And any potential ones, if you do, you will be murdered. Now, if you don't, I should say executed. If you don't like that one, I get it. I'm a little radical, but my nonviolent solution is just like we insure people that drive cars, because you could kill somebody with a car. We should insure gun owners. And if your gun is involved in a mass shooting, the insurance company needs to pay the damages and pay the victim's family for that. I guarantee you, if the insurance company had to pay out some of these claims, they'll make legislation so it'll be a lot tougher for the average person to get a gun. I guarantee you that.
Okay. I don't know where Mario went at, but I will say this. The situation with the NRA, listen, I don't even think it's about that. I think I don't trust the government enough to know it's an agenda. I know when I'm on some of these backwood platforms like Reddit and whatnot, you'll be surprised some of the little hidden groups that they have. That's why you see one shooting and then you see a few. A lot of these groups being chat groups. And that story don't add up. The other one don't add up. But I will say this: the thing that bothered me the most, I don't trust the government. For a person, if I ran on this, if I did a post that said F Chris gay, anything, Facebook, Instagram would instantly flag it. So you telling me this man put that up on social media for 30 minutes untouched? You telling me the coincidence of the teacher just happened to go to her car and left the back door open, and the man comes in the back door. The security guard, the police officer sees the man walking through the parking lot with the AR in his hand. Like it's too many coincidences. The FBI had visited this dude's house a couple times. Nah, man, we watch enough movies to know that hey, they will let something bad happen to start the conversation for stuff like gun control and all this stuff. Bodies are expendable, man. Because Columbine, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was supposed to be the end all be all. And how many shootings have we had since then? The one in Buffalo didn't get enough media coverage at all. We just blew over that. You know what I mean? And then went to the students, the kids that was, killed. But I know about a shooting while I was in Texas that didn't even make the news. So, man, like Trump said in the thing, like, I don't know if it's still that way, but you can get an AR at 18, but you got to wait to get a handgun at 21. Like some of the stuff don't add up. That don't add up. And Biden can talk that stuff, but no one wants to lose that NRA contribution when it comes to campaign time. And that's why people like, yeah, I'm gonna come do, I show up after the scene, throw some flowers. You haven't did anything impactful. What's stopping that from happening tomorrow, Chris?
I just think that I think we need to. It's sad to me, and I know, and I was talking to my sister about this, but I think it's sad that you see the Colorado shooting. It involved black people. That was, they was bad. The media, said it was bad, but then you get one where involved in Texas that involves kids. Yeah. Now you got Steve Kerr crying on national TV. It's sad to me to believe, but this is what I truly believe. If mass shooters was going around killing dogs, they would make legislation for it. I guarantee you they would make legislation for that. I don't know how kids isn't enough, but I guarantee you if they was killing dogs, they'll make legislation for it. Peter would do something about this.
I absolutely agree. So we'll see what happens. The president.
Let me say this. I ain't gonna. I don't agree though, because I think us as black people don't understand the impact that the NRA has.
Yes.
I really don't. I don't think we really understand it. I think for 10 seconds, just 10 minutes of your life, just Google and understand the impact on both sides. On both sides, how much money they donate. Like I don't think the other people like the NRA. When we go to war, that's the guns companies that's backing our military, that's putting guns on airplanes. Like all those are the same people. The same people that's making all them people are the same people. So when you go against them people, now you're gonna go against them. When we go to war in the Middle East, you're gonna say, hey, but we need 2 million guns. Well, bro, then you just cut me back from making 10 million guns? Fuck you. I'm just saying, I'm not saying what you, I'm just saying it won't be some people, it takes a lot to push back on. You almost got to be saying, I want to have career suicide right now to push back on the end. Because even when people who doing it publicly, it's just smoke and mirrors. They're not really pushing back. I'm telling you, like that's damn near under God for the United States of America, because that's what we're founded off of, guns. Yeah. We sell guns and give guns to every country. So right now you're saying push back on people, like they're saying this. If we have 3 mass shootings and we make $10 trillion, okay. That's how they logic. It's like to say the bodies don't add up. Now, if it's anarchy and it's just shootings downs in every street, then okay. But I don't think that right now I don't think you can affect the people who care, the NRA to care enough to stop their money. I don't think so.
No, it ain't. So we'll see what happens next. I will see what happens next because everything's agenda based, man, and I hate to feel that way, but bro, at this point, most of us are desensitized to hearing something. You'll see people say, "I don't even watch the news no more because it's too bad." Because you've got to the point where you've accepted it as normal, which it shouldn't be at all. And sorry if somebody got mad at me on Twitter. I'm like, Buffalo's a real thing. Oh, but the kids, so black people like and drove innocent people like. Nah, I'm not gonna allow it. I won't even tolerate it. You're gonna give all lives the same respect. So I won't be tolerating that at all. Let me say something to you guys. Last week, while I was gone, I really enjoyed the show and I wanted, and I said, you know what, I was gonna be. Hey, I heard somebody with all the love, because y'all are my brothers. Somebody described me as Cyclops. Yeah,
Who was that?
Yeah, okay. And then somebody called me Buddy Love, but that was kind
And
of
Sherman Clump. He really said Sherman Clump.
yeah,
Let's
Sherman
not leave
Clump.
that out.
I can't really fight that one. Mario gave me a heartfelt Uncle Phil attachment, which I was so emotional on the plane because I really do love you guys. You know what I mean? I don't have to, but I do. All right. There are other people missing from there. So my answers are going to be a little more in depth because I like to show you guys what I think about you. All right. So I don't know who's gonna go first. First person that I'm probably gonna say this movie clip. This movie clip is something that when I see it, I think of Zay. In our endeavors on the urban streets of America, every time I see that, I see Zay and I hear him because I feel like he still struggles with certain things. This clip is for you, Zay.
A nigga like me, man, I love the game. I love the hustle, man. I be feeling like one of them ball playing niggas, like Bird, Magic, or something. Yeah, a nigga got dough. A nigga could leave the league. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man?
Why do I pick that script? All of us have had our endeavors on those streets. And I tell Zay all the time, with all the potential and all that I see in him, I still think that is something that he struggles with. He's in a place where he's the latest man for sure. And Mario said, it's time for me to hang up my cleats. And he went into that great light and turned the page. He's seeing what he had. And I don't feel like Zay is at that point yet. He's right there right now saying, damn, well, they love me. Everybody loves Zay, but when I turn into Zay SquarePants, well, they love me the same. All right. So the next person on my list is a person, despite him being Kevin Samuels like on this show, I know him and I've heard and rumored him to really be the sweetest guy out of all of us. Just to write love letters, hold hands, tell her how sweet she is, stay on the phone with the long extension cord. Like, yeah, hang up first. You hang up first. And then something happened traumatic, and now that big heart full of love has turned him into a dating coach. So the person that I picked that relates to Chris is Hitch.
Lie, steal, cheat, or drink. But if you must lie, lie in the arms of the one you love. If you must steal, steal away from bad company. If you must cheat, cheat death. And if you must drink, drink in the moments that take your breath away.
Yeah. Because as much as he was the hope when we first started this podcast, I swear to God, y'all, Chris is that guy that no matter how he brings it to the table, he really is for love in relationships. He just won't fool for getting less than as men deserve.
That's the only thing. That's my only thing. I don't sit here and shit and dump on women. I just want the best for men. Period.
So,
Okay, the
are you
next
calling
person,
Chris Will?
he's Hitch. No, I wouldn't
Look like Will.
disrespect him with Will. He's Hitch. That character was a person who was XYZ, and then he turned into a dating coach. You know what I mean? For other men would not have to endure such crap and to give men a fighting chance. And that's what Chris, the date doctor, does every day.
That's what we do.
Now,
Samuels.
third person on our list, because y'all getting two of them, is the person that everyone loves. He probably is one of the wisest people on our cast. He's an old soul while on this red dot. But behind the scenes, please believe he's not too far from this guy.
You've never met these children?
Yeah, I haven't. But that's my choice, though. Okay.
You been what it do?
Oh boy. Listen.
It's the spinoff.
Hey, man, listen. You know how many shows I've been on and I can't convey what I want to say? Or we behind the scenes and Mario know how to paint that damn picture. and I always tell anybody, for women, it's about who says what. So the fact that they love Mario, they don't mind when Mario come in there and punch him in the mouth. And that happens a lot. You know what I mean? Chris will give the gospel. And then they'll be like, oh, well, Mario.
He mad.
Oh, man.
So I agree with you. And one thing about Kevin, he was factual. And that's why I try to stay. I try to stay in factual land. Like, no matter how you like it or not, be factual. Like, make sense when you're talking.
Yeah, I ain't done. So, y'all get an A and a B. One of the most impactful moments on this show was when we did triggers. And this is the moment that, man, I don't know, man. I looked at Chris as courageous. I never looked at him the same, man. Because of that moment, to be courageous and vulnerable and share that, we all shared about not having dads. And to be honest, hell, we were almost like the little rascals. So when I see this clip, I think about Chris, and that moment changed my life by him sharing his pain. Oh, yes, it gets good.
Ain't like I'm still 5 years old, you know? Ain't like I'm gonna be sitting up every night asking my mom, when's daddy coming home, you know? Who needs him? Hey, he wasn't there to teach me how to shoot my first basket, but I learned, didn't I? Hey, I got pretty damn good at it too, didn't I, Uncle Phil? Got through my first day without him, right? I learned how to drive, I learned how to shave, I learned how to fight without him. I had 14 great birthdays without him. He never even sent me a damn card. To hell with him!
You showed me love when I wasn't feeling it.
I ain't need him then and I don't need him now. Will. Nah, you know what, Uncle Phil? I'm gonna get through college without him. I'm gonna get a great job without him. I'm gonna marry me a beautiful honey, and I'm having me a whole bunch of kids. I'm gonna be a better father than he ever was. And I sure as hell don't need him for that, because ain't a damn thing he could ever teach me about how to love my kids.
Cause you are the reason why I'm still hanging on.
How come you don't want me, man?
You are the reason why my heart is still.
Listen, don't ask me why after that show, boy, I had real tears. I think we cried during the show. The fact, Chris, that as a brother, man, to see you be vulnerable, open up on this show, tell that story, man, the fact that on the show, okay, Zay, I see that little, you shot at me, y'all. Okay. The fact that after that show, man, all of us shared something, bro. All of us had pain attached to not having a daddy. But to see what that did for you, man, I respect you more than you ever could know. The way you carry your family with, you know, your brother and sister, the way you are there for Cupcake, bro. As black men, we don't say that enough, bro. Like, you say I'm the older brother, but bro, you had no idea, man. When you came around, it gave me somebody to relate to, and bro, just that clip, I had me triggered and crying, bro. I'm proud of you as a black man, and the things that you're doing, bro. A lot of black men give up. A lot of men use it as an excuse to cop out and say I didn't turn out to be anything because my life was XYZ. You didn't do that, bro. The way that you been breaking generational curses, man, I gotta love you and respect you, and I speak highly of you for that clip right there.
Oh, man, I appreciate it, man. But I'll be 100% honest with you. I have great family. I have a great daughter, and I have amazing, amazing friends. So whatever may look hard and tough like that, man, I always had somebody to lean on, man, that I can go to. They might not be able to fund me or nothing like that, but man, my family always open their door for me. My homeboys open their door for me. My daughter loves me. I ain't even got a bad relationship with my baby mama. So you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, man, I couldn't have did it by myself. So I appreciate you guys being along for the ride for me. I really do.
Yeah, and like I said, bro, ain't nobody having those kind of conversation. I thought that was one of our most powerful shows.
I can't even watch that show no more. I cannot watch the show, bro. I can't.
All right. Well, Mario, boy, don't take off. I had your ass.
Yeah.
He ain't going nowhere. But I like that Uncle Phil and Will combo y'all put on though. That was y'all in character. That was Tootie. That was you being you, like Mario said. And that was Chris. That was our dear friend Chris spazzing, because he spazzes from time to time. But we know where it comes from. That's why we embrace you, bro. You know we.
All right. Well, not to be the dead horse. Before we go, Xavier, you're someone that Chris knows that, boy, you make me want to pull my hair out, boy. I just get so mad with Zay. Why do I get mad with Zay? Because Zay lives life like, fuck it.
It's golden.
And that works for him.
Kanye shrug, man.
And that's why I always compare you to this guy right here. And I'm going to start calling you that from now on. You are Cosmo Kramer. That is who you are.
So what do you do down there all day? TCB. Taking care of business.
That is what I think about when I talk to Zay about work. He is our what's the guy name? Like Tommy.
I was referred to as Tommy. Yeah.
He is Tommy, man. I know you were. We really just don't know exactly what you do. We don't know exactly what you do. Chris, you was this close to being this guy only because when it comes to all of us, you are the protector. You are the guy that's ready to go to war. And to be honest, the times I needed advice, your logic is just so punchy in the mouth that, I might not like it, but you're not gonna give a dude no sensitivity. You gonna say shit just like this.
Hey, niggas get shot every day, B. You be alright, nigga. You tough, right?
Yeah, sound like
Elbow.
Huh?
I ain't snitch on my homeboy.
You ain't snitch on your homeboy, but we can have a real conversation. You gonna come in here and remove all the emotion, and you gonna be like, "All right, what's the man up moment on here?" You know what I mean?
No ribs, no rice.
Yeah,
no ribs, no rice.
Yeah, that's all of that what you talk about. So the last clip, man, I will say the last clip pretty much described how I met all of y'all. And Mario, this is the last one. But this is how I see you on 30th Street. You were the leader.
Women and gentlemen, I give you our president spanking. How are you? Good to see you. Your class on the line. Welcome. All right, Spanky. Hey, Spanky. All raise your right hand. Your other right hand. I, Stymie, member in good standing of the He-Man Woman Haters Club, do solemnly swear to be a He-Man and hate women and not play with them or talk to them unless I have to.
Listen.
That didn't last long.
Listen, the first.
Not at all.
Listen, 30th Street, the front yard, the green Acura. My guy was, I would say you was spanking to all of the rascals, man. Everybody pile up on 30th in front of Mario house. What's going on? 4 cars, 5 cars deep. But that was like the clubhouse on 30th Street, man. Before I clicked up with y'all, that was the club. So I would have to say you was Spanky, the head of the Little Rascals, because it seemed like that's what I would attribute it to, man. So those were some good days. So many funny stories from Palm Beach to
To
Orlando,
Orlando.
which I'm glad I missed out on all that foolery.
It was the time.
No, not all of it.
Yeah, I tell you, it's so crazy. I tell my wife something in the story. She be like, "You got to write a book because it can't be true." I was like, "That's the thing.
It's true.
It's
true.
amazing." Like, and I tell people stuff in my life, they be looking at me like, "What?" I be like, "Bro, this is you'll never believe it. It's unbelievable truth." Like a lot of stuff, it'd be like, "This is unbelievable," but it actually happened. That's crazy.
Right. So that was one of the other premises of the show, to see us come from where we came from. I think that street was beautiful in the sense that we were on a street, and man, that's movie material from Fat Mar to Jay to Mario, Little Mario, Pac Man, Chris, Poopy, Zay, Tracy, man, Blake, the twins,
You got
Joanna,
you
Hot
got to
Rod,
remember
bruh,
who's still
those
acting
stores.
up to this day.
Whew. So the stores that come off that street, from the high speed chases to like man, it's just enough stores. When I met Chris, I would tell people, bro, we ran so many tolls. The first night I met Chris, I think it was the first night I met Chris. I come in the house. He offers me accommodations. He's cooking turkey necks and tomato sauce.
Yes, African tradition.
Yes, and he swore on it because Chris is an avid cook. And then we went down to Orlando when Chris was king of Orlando. And I swear to God, toll booths, what are those? We can't do those things like the monorail at Disney World, bro.
Yeah. How to pay for it, literally and physically, too. I'm an old man now.
All right. Well, hopefully y'all can relax now. Y'all didn't know what I was bringing to the table tonight, but I did want to share that with y'all. The clip that somebody asked me who I was, y'all didn't ask me that, but I will say that clip of Mike Tyson that I posted this week, where Mike is talking about he's changed, man, but the struggles that he have as far as scared of what, like he feel like a bitch, like he's a better person, he's changed, but at times he feel like a bitch. You know what I mean? And shit, he's scared. Like he don't want nothing to provoke him because he feel like hell is inside. And I feel like that a lot of times. Like I'm trying to do better, man, but sometimes I just feel like, man, just like any other dude, like F this, like this shit is for the birds, you know. So growth takes courage, and I would say that's probably my premise. But I wanted to close out the show on something with you guys, which will probably be impactful, and it'll put you in a good mode because it's probably more Hardy's alley. Listen, I always say this: when I was coming up, I never prayed for anything. I didn't know how to pray, so I'll always say, right before I go to bed, I still have to work on learning how to pray and actually giving enough time to pray. Not no get in the bed and give a little quick 15-minute prayer, like to actually submit, pray, and give God some of his, be humble. So when I was growing up, I would always, and I'm talking about just a couple of years ago, I'd be like, hey, same prayer. And it was lazy, it was disrespectful. God, hey, thank you for life. Thank you for keeping me safe. Forgive me for my sins. And that was it. Like it was a quick prayer, it was disrespectful. And I watched a show with Steve Harvey one night where he said, a clip where Steve Harvey said he did the same thing, but he never asked God for anything. He never asked God for anything. And he said he learned how to pray and he started to ask God for something. So to be short, I actually prayed for something outrageous, and I swear I got that. I prayed for a certain amount of money on the check that I needed, and I prayed for it, and I got that to the T. And you would think that would change me and make me pray and do more, like ask for more, but I still am struggling because I got to check and, you know, do what we do as people. And I'm still battling with that. So, Mario, you pray to help me with my prayers because It's just something we take for granted. We take life for granted. We take blessings for granted. We take His grace for granted. So I said all that to say, man, with me telling y'all that, is there something that you praying for in this season? Like, or what is it? Something that have you ever asked God for something, or will you ask for something? Like, what is it that you would pray for in this season? If you believe you can get, not even believe, because faith is part of that prayer. In this season, uh, tell us something that you're praying for in this season, or whatever you ask God for. Chris, Leo.
But this is really above my intelligence because I'm not a prayer. I don't understand the function of prayer. Um, Most of the people that I know that are prayers and believe in prayer, they also believe that in an all powerful, all knowing, all good God. And I believe that if you believe that way, then prayer is doing nothing but asking Him to change His mind. And if you believe that He's all powerful, all knowing, and all good, most importantly, all good, then there would be no reason for Him to change His mind or for me to ask Him to change His mind. I think it's sometimes I look at it as a little bit selfish. So I don't. Things with prayer. I don't like when people die. We say we sit in thoughts and prayers because that's all the thought and the prayer that they're going to do. It's just the text or saying it. I also have an issue sometimes with people with what we asked to pray for. We was recently asked to pray for Ukraine, and when you do history on that, Ukraine was a part of the Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, with that, if you believe in God's will and He's perfect, those guys became Nazis because George Stalin starved that nation and forced them into it. So again, like for me personally ask the question, no, I don't ask for anything. I remember asking God one time to not let my mother die a crackhead, and I never got that prayer, so I decided then I wouldn't ask anymore. I think that Him giving me breath every morning to make whatever decision I got to make, I think that's the blessing, and I whatever else I let it be, whatever His will is.
Zay, I'm gonna go to you next before I get Mario to close it out.
All right, so you gave us a layered question. I just want to make sure that I answer.
I think it was layered. I gave you an example of my life, and that was how I tried to form the question. You can answer then, or you can layer it.
All right. So, just looking back, and you were saying, what have you asked God for, if anything? Have you ever prayed? Of course, we have. I think I did a segment on it when I told you guys I prayed for something, and God delivered it to the T. What I forgot to pray for, that's why they say to be crystal clear in your prayer. What I forgot to pray for was me. So in that one prayer, I asked for a good chick that's not out here, in the church, all this other good stuff. God gave me that. I forgot to pray to ask to receive that. So when I got blessed with that blessing, I fumbled it. That was that. From then, because you guys know that I'm an entrepreneur, I ask for a lot of discernment. I pray for that a lot. Because when you're doing business, one thing I learned about business is it's no different in the streets. They just don't come to you with a gun and try to rob you out your money. They come to you usually with a business suit and a smile and an idea or a plan or something to that effect. So I have to constantly ask for discernment when it comes to doing business with individuals to make sure that I'm not doing something that sounds good to my ear and is not according to God's purpose or plan for me in my life. So I'll do that. And I pray for people a lot. My co-host, which is my brother, and my partner Mario, always tells me that I care for people more than I care for myself. Is that you need to be a little bit more selfish. I think in this season, that's what I'm learning. When I'm learning my discernment, I'm learning who my community is, who my people are. You know what I'm saying? Versus me thinking that, oh, I'm good with you, so you should be good with me. That's not reality. That was a fantasy. And I lived that for a long time where I would be confused. And a lot of debacles me and my brothers on this panel would have, because something would happen and it would piss me off because it's something that I wouldn't do to a person, but they would blatantly do it to me, and I would always be the victim, or I would always be wrong. So now the discernment that I'm asking for is to make sure that I'm loving on the people that love on me. I'm pouring into the people that are pouring into me. The others, not that I won't do for other individuals, because I'm gonna always remain and be Zay, because that's who Zay is, but to just be a wiser steward of my energy, my gift or purpose that God gave me with others. That is my prayer. That's the season that I'm going into, amid all of these business ventures that I have that you guys swear I don't have. But it's okay. What about you?
Nah, I ain't not anything. Yeah, I was saying, what was you praying for this season, this year? But
This season, just to be more clear, concise with, who is, I hate to say family, but a part of my community. You know what I'm saying? What it is, how I'm impact the world, how I impact the people around me again, that I care about, that care about me, and that genuinely want to see me do good, and I want to see them do good genuinely. My prayer is to make sure that I give them my all and everything as I would, because that's what God aligned me to be, but that I'm doing it with the right ones.
You frozen.
Yeah. All right. That's like when they had a dating show and they freeze you. The one with Donnie Simpson.
That's it. Decepticons got me. That's all.
Yeah, they got you. Listen,
Okay. That was
I
it.
really don't. I asked y'all that question. I never thought about it, so I would probably say just asking. Here he goes. Asking. I don't know what the word would be, but just to make it through this season, bro. Because I know in my spirit this year is gonna be heck. With so much going on. So just ask God, hey, to keep me from being homeless. You know what I mean? And it's really like, bro, this year between inflation, gas, like, bro, COVID, there's so much upon us as people at one time. So just asking for God's grace will probably be what I ask for tonight, and to help me with my procrastination. That would probably be it. Super Mario Senior.
I pray all the time, and then like you, first of all, I didn't know, the prayer, it's so literal, unliteral. People use it like Chris stated, pray for this. That was a suggestion. Because you can always ask people to pray, like you always ask people to help. That don't mean you're going to. So I think people use that word pray so clichély around that sometimes people don't understand from my understanding what a prayer is. And it's actually just an intimate talk with God. So a prayer don't have to be any format. Hello? You got me? It seemed like I got a buffer. My bad. Prayer don't have to be any format. Like you don't have to get on your knees. You don't have to cross your fingers. You don't have to do the praying hands. You can simply sit in any place. You could be walking and praying in your head. You could be having an intimate moment because we understand that the battle we fighting every day is not physical but spiritual. So, in my understanding, in my deep prayer right now, I've learned to pray and understand it, like Zay said, be clear. So a lot of stuff to somewhat Chris, I'm not gonna go all the way to end what he was saying about God being omnipotent, which is all knowing, is true. So that if I believe that, and I believe God is who he is, and I believe Jesus who he is, and I have to understand that I'm doing everything and going through everything for a reason that I might not know, right? So right now, I take a page out of Solomon's book and pray for wisdom, and then I take a page out of Job's book and pray for peace to be able to withstand as I go through the storm. Because I understand that I can't dodge the storm, I can't run from the storm, but I want to be strong enough to go through the storm with a peaceful heart. And peace don't only mean being at war; it means being concise, understanding that God gonna see me through. And I think a lot of times we get into like, I want you to do something for me, God. It's ironic when Chris was like, well, I don't, like when Steve Harvey was saying, I don't want to ask God for nothing. But that's most time when people pray. They're asking God for something. And then, like Chris told a story, not to keep saying what Chris said, but I'm just sitting here listening. When I pray for something, God didn't do it to me, so I don't do it no more. And I think that's the reaction I had a bunch of times in my life about stuff. Like, come on, God, I love you. I need you. Why won't you do this? But then I had kids. And I've seen Jayla be so adamant about something she wanted. And in her little minuscule life of 13 and 14, that meant the world to her. And her whole world was going to fall apart if her daddy, who was her hero, didn't give it to her. And I had to say no. And I understood in that moment that sometimes we're praying to God because in our little minuscule life, it's everything to us. But we got to understand there's so many other moving parts in life. And if I understand God being the father, because that's what I am right now, then I have to understand that Jayla, Mario, and my other unborn son not going to always know why I say no. I'm not always going to answer them. And sometimes I'm going to need them to sit and get an understanding for themselves. But that's in me being the father. So understanding that God is my father and I respect him as such, I do. I'm not telling nobody else to. Then I have to understand that he loves me and he has my best interest. And even though I might not see it right now, like Tootie was saying, and I'm trying to get through the storm, that I know that he got me. And I pray for the wisdom that even when the storm gets real hard and I'm starting to fight and I can't see my way through, that I just trust in him and knowing, God, you got me. I don't know how. So now when I pray, I say, God, I don't know how. I don't know why. And I don't know when. But one thing I know is a little boy who was raised by a single mama coming from Revere Beach, and I seen no way of me getting to where I am right now. I got here. So the same God that I prayed in these 40 years to get to here, it's the same God that blessed me through all that. And even though I'm feeling weary right now, and I have no understanding right now, and I'm losing faith right now, as your son, I have to trust you. So only thing I pray for right now, honestly, if it's not just playing around the bush, when I really have a talk with God is, to please just give me the patience to trust in your will. And that's it, because my purpose is filled in his will. And if I believe in purpose, it's the God's given desires in this world for you to fulfill something. So I have to fulfill it. Like everything I'm going through is for a purpose. And it might not be for the betterment of me. It might be for me to talk to Chris, or me to talk to Tootie to talk to me, or Zay to talk to me. Because sometimes we take stuff so interpersonal, but we all as one. It's a family. So that's what I pray for. Not to go on and on and on. I pray like Solomon for wisdom. And wisdom, I think, is godly truth. And then the second thing I pray for is patience in the storm. Because we cannot not go through storms. Because God never said that he wasn't going to put us in storms. He just said, I'll never forsake you while you're going through them. So that's what I pray for.
All right. Listen, I hear you, and I wanted to. That was important for me this week because, like I said, man, we developed late about stuff. So prayer, man. I mean, my early years was about surviving. So when I remember having a prayer where I asked God to reveal things to me, and my life fell apart. And I told Zay I'd never say that prayer again. Then when I prayed for, this is a funny guy. I prayed for, respect, like patience and all that stuff. This God gives you tests. Now, once I learned that, I said, oh, let me be careful what I pray for, because if I pray for God to help me with my patience, boy, he gave me stuff to test me. I had an issue with feeling disrespected, and I had to come and disrespect like some tests where I'm like, man, what kind of prayer, like, trust, help me, how does this work, Lord? Because I'm praying for help, and you giving me stuff like you in training. So,
but I think this, too, not to cut you out, just think of it this way. This is what I think of. If a son is 13 and he wants some Jordans, and he's saying, Lord, please give me these Jordans. Then his daddy walk up and say, do your chores, and you'll get them. And then you feel like, I just want them to be dropped in my lap. I asked you for them. Then I'm saying the chores not only give you the right to get the Jordans, but it's teaching you how to be a man. It's teaching you responsibility. It's teaching you how to have what? Delayed gratification. So not only do God give you what you ask for, he give you what you need in that same sentence. I know you want these Jordans, and I'm going to get them to you, but I'm going to make it show that when you get these Jordans, you understand what it takes to have Jordans. And then maybe next time, you're going to have to decide, do you even want the Jordans? Or do you want to do what it takes to get the Jordans? So and I think that's how I try to look at life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ask for a lot.
I agree. That's why I never asked for nothing. So when I needed something, hey, listen, I don't ask you for much. I remember early on in life, I didn't go. I don't go to church now because my own issue. But back in the day, I didn't go to church when I was seeking God and wanted to change my life. Because every time I started going to church, my life fall apart. I was like, wait a minute. Right now, I can't do this. Like right now, I don't have life is hard enough. So I'm going to church. Praise God. Oh man, child support again. Oh, the car broke down. Oh, the baby mama giving me trouble. Like every time I get close to church and try to get my life right, it fell apart. And I would run until I learned a lesson. Like, hey, trouble don't last always. Like a storm is a storm, but you cannot last a storm. But it took me learning that. You know what I mean? Originally, like, boy, right now, Lord, I can double back on you because I ain't got time right now. I
Hey,
need
man, listen, I question God. I got some of the prayingest church in this family ever in the world who don't have a lot of money, who always patching up together. My auntie who prayed more than I think anybody prayed was at church ever. She died of cancer. So when you telling me about questioning God, listen, I question. But I remember my auntie was dealing with stage 4 cancer, praying every day. And she called me and said, oh, God got me. And if my purpose was for you to understand that in the midst of all of this, I have faith. And I said, man, this is a woman who got this much faith and this much love and this much power. So when my job not doing bad, when I can't get the car I want, when I can't go on trips that I want, it made me feel minuscule. Like this lady was dealing with cancer. And she was still trusting and believing in God that it was a better place that she was going to and she was going to get there. And I seen her son graduate. I seen her daughter get married. I seen her son be an entrepreneur. And I say, if it's ever a time, I hear you, Auntie, and I believe in the same God that you believe in. But it took me a while because I was the same way. Like, come on, God, I'm a crooked crook out here. I understand if you want me, but this is a lady who loves you dearly, and she is being punished. But that's because I was looking at it through my earthly mind and not trying to understand. Because a lot of times people get that's like right now. Tootie always say this. I'm not gonna go on. People judge me from the show, but they don't get to know me. And I think that's so irresponsible. And I tell him that all the time. But then I sit back and say, damn, am I what? Am I being hypocrite? Because so many people do that to God. They never truly read the Bible. They never truly spent no time with him. They never seek higher authority from people of God. They never get and pray. They never spend time with him. And then they cast judgment from afar and say, well, God this and God that and God, you don't do this. But you don't ever know God. And every time Tootie say that to me, I hear that in my heart. And he feels it. Like Tootie's one of the nicest person in the world. I hear people say, well, Tootie act like this. You don't know Tootie. You see 40 shows of an hour of Tootie. And now you just know all of a sudden who he is. And I think so many people do that to God. And I just think that.
All right. Listen, I don't know what happened to our feed tonight. It cut the comments off. So my apologies to all those that want to intercede on this. But, dealing with, we share a link to Facebook. So we had no idea what's going on with social media. But we're working on a new platform. So we'll see where it goes, man. I just wanted to get y'all take on that. I know people don't know that, man. We might go to a cigar bar and have this exact conversation. You know what I mean?
Amongst the music.
Bro, we've had one thing I do enjoy is when we all together and have those conversations because always one that I grow from. And people wouldn't believe the conversations we had. You know what I mean? One of the best parts of my life was when Chris was in Palm Beach and we'll sit on S in front of the door. And Chris used to get on my goddamn nerve, but that sharpened me. I swear to God, some of those conversations made me tougher because at that time I still had a little bit of victimization in me where I was like, oh, it's me, this is what I'm enduring. And then you come and have Chris like, like
nigga die every day, B.
Yeah. So as a unit, man, I appreciate y'all for that, man. Each person brings something. to the door. This weekend I hung out with Zay, who is Mr. He is Cosmo Kramer. And as much as I stay in the city, I don't enjoy the city. We live in paradise. I don't get out. We went out for a date. I mean, a date. He's my brother.
Due date?
Bro.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Went for a
Choice of
walk
words
together.
tonight. Dog, your choice of words tonight is just
Hey, you my
terrible.
brother, dog. You my brother. Went for a walk, you know what I mean, downtown. But to see all
Saw a domestic dispute.
also our domestic.
White
It
on
wasn't
white
us.
crime we saw.
It was not us. It was not us, man. So to get out amongst the people, have a good dinner, walk, talk, you know what I mean, bro. You
Check out the
know,
free concert.
taking advantage. You got, you know what I mean, just the simplest things, man. You learn to appreciate. We don't be in the same city at the same time, so when we are, it's definitely all love, man. So I appreciate y'all like I did. Hopefully, y'all ain't offended with my my replies to last week, but
We
you
gonna
know.
get you.
Oh, Chris been quiet since then.
The rest of this season, you better watch your back.
Chris been
Watch your
quiet
back.
since then. So yeah, I'm nervous now. Hey,
I'm
closing
taking
comments,
it.
fellas.
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna say I did appreciate the time we did spend, bro. One thing, it call me Cosmo Kramer, whatever. I love to live in the moment. I love to live in the right now. I'm gonna find the gems in the city and I'm gonna exploit them. I'm gonna have a great time, and it's gonna be very frugal because I knew I was with my frugal brother. We don't spend frivolous money. We spend the right money, and we ate well, you know. So I was glad to spend that time with him and kind of show him some of the things, because I know a lot of times we do say there's nothing to do in the city. There's a lot to do in the city. You just got to make your own fun, you know what I'm saying, and enjoy yourself while you're here. That was one of the things I want to touch. And I want to touch on some Black people making some moves and doing some things. Shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson for redeeming herself and getting her name back in good graces. As you know, that young sister has not had a great time with the limelight as of late. She did come in, did a job, came in second place. So I'm gonna give her flowers for that. You know, her kudos, because she did put in the work and get that. Here locally, a young man. I'm proud of him. I watched him kind of do some of the things that we've done, which is go from the street, and he's making his move into this corporate world and entrepreneurship and putting on for the city. Mr. Live 561, affectionately known as Cuz by us. Man, that young man is, man, just at the iceberg of 30, but he's making moves. He met with Ross at the car show. He put on for Palm Beach County. He put on for 561, 954, and 305, which if you're from South Florida, you know those area codes never really clicked up, and he was able to put it together. One lowly man, probably the youngest one out of all of them, and put it together, but also, you know, inked up something with Rick Ross, the boss. So, hey, man, hats off to you, because I love what I see you doing. I'm going to tell you to keep on going. And last but not least, I'm going to say with our venture here at the Black Super Friends podcast, we're all about promoting positivity. One of the most positive things that you can promote is the Black Super Friends podcast every Monday night at 9 p.m. That's all I'll ask. It's simple. It don't cost you no money, just a little bit of your time. And I appreciate those that do. Share and tag.
Chris, my bestest friend.
Oh man, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. I don't know what happened to the feed, but rewatch it and you can comment after that, hopefully. But I want to do a shameless plug, man. This t-shirt that I'm wearing today is my own creation. It's from the Kings Live Forever collection. I will be taking pre-orders very, very soon, maybe by the end of the week. But this is the first design of my new t-shirt line, Kings Live Forever. It's always going to be a king with the exclamation mark as the I. That's how you know it's me.
100. Super Mario.
Hey man, I appreciate y'all coming. You know, this is a Monday night, and most of the people come in and they stay up for this because they understand, or watch it the next day, because, like they said, this is probably one of the best shows that you're gonna be able to watch to get a true man's point of view from four depictions of what a man looks like in our community in every aspect of life. So, hey, I think it's only robbery to our whole culture if you don't share. if you don't post, if you don't tell somebody about this, because I see so many people asking, I wonder what men do. I wish I could talk to men. Well, you got 4 men right here that you could chime in every Monday night and get in the comments. And most of the times, if you ask the right questions, we either bring you on or answer your question right on this show or follow up with you. So, you know, when people asking for help, help is help. And you have 4 versions of it. So listen, man, we the Black Super Friends, but we here to serve for service purposes. So use us. Share with your friends. Get in groups. Have watch parties. Trust me. You are going to benefit from us because we benefit from you. Hey, I appreciate y'all coming out for another Monday night.
All right. See y'all later this week, man. We appreciate you. Later.